Well, two things. I think personal leadership is very important, taking responsibility for who I am, for what I do and so on. And this was a really good, I was familiar with the program already. It was a really good opportunity, A, to work through a very valuable program, but also to spend some time with Mark Tonks, because his coaching style appeals to me a great deal. He's very experienced, and so the opportunity to work through this program with Mark, that combination was irresistible. The second element of it for me is that I also am an LMI coach, a lot less experienced than Mark, and so as I said to Mark right at the start, I'm going to steal wholesale from you the way you deliver this program to people, and that has been tremendously effective. The appeal was that there's lots of distractions in the world. There's lots of things that work against me achieving what's really important to me. So I'm a family man, I run my own business, I have an elderly mother who needs increasing amounts of care, and just being able to focus on my goals has become more and more difficult with passing years. And so the program creates an opportunity for me to look at what's really important to me. So one of the exercises in the program is creating a personal mission statement. And without that personal mission statement, how do you know what it is you're trying to achieve? That's almost, the fundamental big picture is my personal mission statement. So that element of the program was very appealing, being able to take that look at what my purpose is, why am I here? And when I allied that with the values, being able to look really carefully at what's important to me, why is it important, and if those things are important to me, what will I do about that? So that ability to work through a plan of action on that basis was really key to me wanting to be part of the group. It does. And one of the issues LMI makes clear to people is that in terms of crystallizing our thinking, writing it down is very important. That connection between our hand and our eye and our brain reinforces what we're learning. And I know from my own experience that when I read things on screen, when I write things with a keyboard, they don't stick the same. It doesn't have the same impact. I don't have that feeling of having bottomed something out. Indeed, if I'm working on a document on screen, I very often will print it so that I can read it as a paper document. And so that, your phrase, multi-sensory approach to learning works extremely well for me because it reinforces the connection by having to write stuff down. I think it's given me a good base to work from. So I have always had a fairly strong sense of the things that are important to me. My family, my business, my community have always been very important to me. But the opportunity to capture those in a mission statement gives me a really positive base to start from. Having gone through that exercise of working out what my values are, it gives me a reference point. If people want me to do things, I can check, does this help me towards my mission statement? Does it meet my values? One of the benefits from that is I can say no to people much more easily without feeling guilty. If it doesn't fit, if it's not right for me, then I'll say no to it. But similarly, if people want me to do things and I work out that these things are connected to my mission statement, then that makes it easier to say yes and to find the time to do them. I think one of the realities with this program is that you work your way through it over 24 weeks, whatever it might be, but you continue to work through it for the rest of your life because you've got a source of material that you can go back to, you can refresh your memory, you can remind yourself what you said you would be doing in the future, and I think it has a permanent impact. Well, yes and no. So yes, I will be trying to sell it to other people, but I don't just automatically try to sell that program to people. I think that leadership is vital, self-leadership is vital, but I think also that self-management is essential. And I think if you can't get the self-management right, it's very difficult then to be a good self-leader. And so whenever I'm talking to potential clients, my advice to them always is, do an effective personal productivity program first. Get good management of how you approach day-to-day life, and then focus on leadership. Because if you can make yourself a really strong leader, then you can pass on both the productivity and the leadership skills to the people you work with.